Hello, everyone. So let's see how many people get online today. This is the second. This is the second of our sessions today, and we are very excited to let you know about the ICFES training that we are offering to you. Today we are going to go deeper into ICFES. So we are going to have some other tips, but very specific. We are going to learn about about the kind of questions that you are going to see when you take the ICFES exam. So I'm going to give you 3 or 4 minutes to give you some time to get online. So let me just see if everything is working appropriately. And it is working appropriately. So how is everything, dear Bethlemmite students? Whenever you get online, just tell us where you are watching us from. There are 3 people watching us already. Hello, how are you? Where are you from? Let us know, please. Let's see if the chat is working. Let's see if everything is working. Hello, Mapu Yaurelo de Gomez. She is from Pereira. Thank you so much for commenting on the chat. There are 2 more students who are getting online. You are very on time. Don't worry. We are going to give you probably 5 more minutes before we start our session. 6 people are watching us already. Hey, awesome. So, hello, Diego Vesga. Hello, Paola from Ecuador, Ibarra. Thank you so much for tuning us in. Hello, Happy Vale from Bucaramanga. Hello, William. Why don't you tell us where you are from? Yeah, today it's Ashes Wednesday, so this is why I'm wearing a cross made out of ashes. But I hope you have it too. If you are a Bethlemite student, you must be wearing it too. Hello, Diego from Barranca Bermeja. I think I remember you from our last session. So we have 7 people watching us already. I am going to start now our session. So today is a session that is more important than our previous session. Why? Because today we are going to learn the specific questions that they ask in the ICFES training. So why don't we have a look at them? I'm going to start sharing my screen. And this is it. So I'm just going to check if everything is working appropriately. All right. Okay, so welcome to your second session in this Bethlemmite Students Club. Today is Wednesday, March 1st, and it is 4:33 in the afternoon. This is the second part of your ICFES training exam. If you are probably in Pasto, Palmira, or Popayán, you must be taking the ICFES exam in a few weeks. So this is why we are doing this right from the beginning of the year. Okay, so let us start. This is Bethlemmite Students TV. Don't forget that we are there for you. Why don't you take a minute to remember our last session? Why don't you write on the chat an idea that you remember from our last session? What were the tips that we gave you when we live streamed for the last time? Let's write them on the chat. Thank you, dear Diego. William, yes, you should be writing in English. Otherwise, I can find your school and your coordinator to make sure that you don't bully this chat. Okay, why don't you share some ideas as to what were some tips that we gave you in our last session? Let's talk about that. Write them on the chat. While you do that, I'm going to say hi again to Mapu, hi to Diego from Barranca Bermeja. Is it getting hot in there, or are you having a nice weather these days? Hello from Bucaramanga. I have just talked to Sister Angela, so she told me that it was raining and that there were some thunder lights over there. Okay, hello Ingrid, where are you from? So William is from Barranca Bermeja as well. Thank you so much. We are very glad to know that you are watching us from Barranca Bermeja as well and from other places in Santander. Okay, maybe this was not a good idea to take a minute to remember our last session in the chat. So let's start. The first part that you are going to face in your ICFES exam is a part in which you are going to be given a sign, and they are going to give you 3 options of places. So for example, here you have private property, no trespassing, and they are going to ask you, hey, where would you find this? You are going to receive 3 options: a circus, a house, and a police station. So take a minute and think about the answer. Where would you possibly find this kind of sign? Private property, no trespassing. Is it a circus? Is it a house? Or is it a police station? That is the first kind of exercises. Let's do another exercise within the same kind of question in the ICFES. Okay, how about this example? Where would you find this sign? Probably A, in a cinema, probably B, in a zoo, probably C, at the vet. Where? Where do you think? Let's take some 20 seconds for you to think about that. "15 seconds more, 10 seconds more, 3, 2, 1, and let's do another example. Where would you find this kind of sign? In what place? In what place would you find this kind of signs? Probably A, in a car, probably B, in a bathroom, or probably C, on the TV. Let's take some 20 seconds for you to think about it. And you have some 10 more seconds. And you have some 3 more seconds. And that's right. Okay, let's continue. Let's move on to the second kind of questions that you would find on your ICFES exam. They are going to give you 5 definitions, and they are going to give you more than 5 items. What is the idea? To match. For example, if we say this definition, sweet beverages made out of gas and flavors, what would be the object? Take some 15 seconds to think about it. Now, if we say musicians use this to give percussion to a song, what would we be talking about? Take some 15 seconds to think about it. All right, what about this? Big animal that lives in the sea. What would that be? Take, take some 10 seconds to think about it. All right, heavenly beings with wings and light. What would that be? What about the last one? Singers use this to amplify their vocal performance. What are we talking about? So take some 10 seconds and now we share the answers. Let me see if somebody else has greeted us from another place in the world. Hello Luigi, hello Paola, hello Julian, hello Diego. Okay, it is very interesting that you are sharing your answers. Thank you so much. Okay, so now let's share the answers. Sweet beverages made out of gas and flavors. Here you find the keyword gas. So that would be H, soda. Musicians use this to give percussion to a song. That would be whale. Big animal that lives in the sea. Sorry, musicians use this to give percussion to a song. That would be drums. Do you have a favorite drummer? Do you have a favorite musician? All right, sorry for the mistake. Number 3, big animal that lives in the sea. That would be whale. Have you watched Freeing Willy, the movie? That is awesome. So you have an example of a big, big whale. What about heavenly beings with wings and light? Yes, we are not talking about you, but also we're talking about angels. Singers use this to amplify their vocal performance. What are we talking about? Exactly, not difficult, microphones. So here we have another exercise based on the same format. So take some 2 minutes to think about it, and then we can share the answers. Okay, so take 2 minutes right from now. We would like to thank to the 16 students who are watching us and to the other people who have started following us on our social networks, especially on our Facebook fan page and also on our Instagram account. It is very, very rewarding to know that you are tuning us in because we plan to keep on doing these kind of streaming sessions. So thank you so, so much for tuning us in. Take 1 more minute to get the answers. You are doing very well. That's the purpose. That's the reason. To get trained and to also know that you have limited time. So take some 50 more seconds. Now you have 30 more seconds. And now you have 13 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1, let's share. All right, so if we say we use this to protect our eyes from solar rays, what would you say? E, sunglasses. Very well done. What about the second question? What cylinder made to produce light? What are we talking about? Exactly. C. Candle. 3. Pleasant fragrances to smell well. What is that? Very good. D. Perfume. 4. Big book of word definitions. What is that? Dictionary. Excellent. And last but not least, 5. Musical instrument with 4 strings. What is that? Ukulele. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Alright, so let's move on with the third kind of questions. In this kind of questions, what you have to do is to complete the conversation with coherent answers. So for example, if we say, hello, dear sister Rosita, how is everything going? We have 3 possibilities. A, good morning. Is it enough? Or B, is going perfect. Is it good? Is it grammatically correct? Or what about C? It is going very well. Thank you. What do you think? Take some 10 seconds to think about it. And you have it right. The answer is C. Why? You would say, oh, but teacher, why? If B and C are very, very similar. Well, in answer B, you don't have the pronoun it. And it is very important to mention that in English. In Spanish, we can say, es perfecto. Okay, but in English, we need the pronoun it. We cannot say is perfect. No, we need to say it's perfect or it is perfect. That's very important in English. So let's do another exercise based on the same kind of questions. If we say, for example, do you know somebody who can teach me some vocal technique lessons? We have 3 possibilities. A, yes, my cousin does. He trains fitness people. B, yes, it is cheap. Or C, yes, I do. My cousin is a singing teacher. What would you say? Take some 10 seconds to think about it. And I'm going to take just 10 seconds to look at the chat to see if somebody has a question or if somebody has a comment. We want to thank Sofia Briceño for having got online today. Also, let's thank Juliana Cañas. Where are you from, Juliana? Let's thank our dear student Andrea, and let's thank Luis Acosta. Let's thank Julian. Thank you all for watching us today and for taking the time to watch our streaming session. Let's move on. So what is the answer? Very well done. C. Yes, I do. My cousin is a singing teacher. Why? Because A, we don't care if the person is training fitness people because we need somebody who teaches something related to singing. And B, it says it is cheap, and we are not asking if it is cheap or if it is cheap or if it is expensive. We are asking if you know somebody. Oh, all right. So let's move on. We have another example based on the same kind of questions. When is Shakira's concert going to take place? A, at 5 p.m. B, 4 times a week. C, that's awesome. So this one is very easy, so we are going to give you only 5 seconds. All right. So what is the answer? Very well done. A, at 5 p.m. because B says 4 times a week, and we are not asking how often. We are asking when, or also at what time. And we are not asking if it is awesome or if it is cool. We are just asking when. Last but not least, how often do you exercise? A, before going to sleep. B, very often, at least 4 times a week. and C, sure. What do you think the answer is? Okay, yes, the answer is B, because we are not asking when do you exercise. If we were asking when do you exercise, the answer would be before going to sleep. But we are asking how often. And here the answer is very clear, very often. Okay, and sure, well, that does not really relate to the question, right? This is the last example. What's the best part of being a Bethlemite student? A, having a family in different countries. B, great point. C, you can say it again. What do you think? Very good. Having a family in different countries. And we would like to say a special thank you to our dear teacher, Paola Inibarra, who is watching us right from Ecuador. Thank you so much for watching us today and for participating in this streaming session. We promise we are going to have open streaming sessions. This is the last session that we are going to do about a Colombian exam. We are going to start streaming session. We're going to start, live streaming sessions about English, about pronunciation, about probably grammar, about different topics, so that Ecuador students and so that Costa Rican students, El Salvador students, and more Bethlemite students all over Latin America can watch us, can tune us in, and can also stay tuned with our live streaming sessions. So thank you so much, dear teacher Paola. All right, let's move on to the fourth kind of questions. It is about filling in the blanks. So you are going to be giving a paragraph and you have to complete according to the coherent answers that you are given. For example, on a what? Cold, sunny, rain, morning, Angie decided to go for a what? Change, walk, bus. However, she was, did, have, not take her, with, has, of, her. This is why the tree, weather, honey was very unkind to her. She must have took, taken, tooking it with her. This is therefore great. Such a weather was announced, say it, predict. What are the answers? In this case, we are going to give you 2 minutes because we know that it takes a little time. So you can take 2 minutes right from now. You have another minute and a half. All right, we think you don't need that much time. So, on a cold morning, Angie decided to go for a walk. However, she did not take it with her. This is why the weather was very unkind to her. She must have taken it with her. Therefore, such a weather was announced in the news. So the answers are 1A, 2B, 3B, 4A, 5B, 6B, 7B, 8A. Very well done. Let's have another exercise very similar to it. Mary loves reading, wanting, or selling the news. When she watches, arrives, finishes, home, the first thing that she does is turn in the fridge, bed, or TV. What do you think? It does not important matter if the news are not the rainy, happiest ones? Sure. Mary feels that she needs to stay cool, updated, awesome. What do you think? Take some 30 seconds. We know that you are very, very intelligent people, so you are not going to need more than 1 minute, right? Awesome. Very well done. Take your time. And take some 15 more seconds. And very well done. So let's share the answers. So Mary loves reading the news. When she arrives home, the first thing that she does is turning the TV on. It does not matter if the news are not the happiest ones ever. Mary feels that she needs to stay home. No, sorry, she needs to stay updated. So the answers are 1A, 2B, 3C, 4C, 5C, 6B, and 7B. Very well done. Last but not least, this is the last kind of questions that we are going to find in the ICFES exam. So you are going to be given a story or a reading, and the idea is that you answer questions. So what are they testing there? They are testing your reading comprehension. So here we have a tip for you. Why don't you start reading in English? Do you like reading in English? It's awesome. It is very, very interesting because some things are originally written in English. For example, Harry Potter. And yes, we have translated versions of Harry Potter, but if we read them just the exact way, with the exact same words that J.K. Rowling wrote it, that would be awesome to feel that kind of experiences. So we encourage you to read a lot in English because so many things are written in English. So let's do this exercise. Ariel is ready to go to university. She had waited this moment for so long, and here I made a mistake, so let me correct it. Not momento, just moment. Okay, her dream is to become a very important architect. That is her dream because she always thought of houses as huge pieces of art out of human hands, but also minds. Urban buildings inspire her a lot, especially in cities that are not too big, because they still keep an interesting essence of architectural tradition. Ariel is going to take 7 classes all about design, architecture, and history of art. According to the reading, we can say that A. Ariel loves science and physics. B. Ariel has great feelings for urban arts and buildings. C. Ariel is not interested in enrolling a major or a career. D. Ariel is not going to be busy. What do you think? Very well done. We cannot know if Ariel loves science and physics because the reading doesn't say that or doesn't say anything about it. We can say that Ariel has great feelings for urban arts and buildings because it says in the reading, urban buildings inspire her a lot, especially in cities that are not too big, because they still keep an interesting essence of architectural tradition. Alright, C, we cannot know. Ariel is not interested in enrolling a major or a career. How can we say that if we say that Ariel is ready to go to university? That wouldn't be coherent, so not the correct answer. And D, Ariel is not going to be busy. Well, that we cannot know as far as the reading allows us to know. We have another question. When the reading says that Ariel likes cities that are not too big, it means that A, these cities are boring, B, these cities are different, C, these cities have traditional buildings that are interesting, D, Ariel does not know anything about architecture. So take 20 seconds to give your answer. Alright, so when the reading says that Ariel likes cities that are not too big, it means that these cities have traditional buildings that are interesting. And how can we know that from the reading? Because it says urban buildings inspire her a lot, especially in cities that are not too big, because they still keep an interesting essence of architectural tradition. Alright, so this is the last example. We have another reading and we have some other two questions. When Jason knew that he would be able to visit the Philippines, he got very excited. He couldn't sleep the previous days of his flight. He would fly more than 13 hours to get to Manila, the Philippine capital. Jason spent one of the best weeks of his life in which he enjoyed beautiful landscapes, tried tasty food, and learned a few words in the local language. Now he is working at a university to save money and probably move to Manila in the future. According to the reading, we can say that Jason couldn't sleep the previous days of his flight because A, he had eaten way too much, B, he was very excited and anxious because his flight was going to be long, or C, his bed was way too uncomfortable. What do you think? All right. According to the reading, we can say that Jason couldn't sleep the previous days of his flight because he was very excited and anxious because his flight was going to be long. We can say that because it says when Jason knew that he would be able to visit the Philippines, he got very excited. And the last question is, after reading this paragraph, we can conclude that A, Jason wouldn't ever go back to Manila, B, Jason needed to invite his mother to this trip, or C, Jason had such a wonderful time and plans to go back to the Philippines. What would you say? Okay, so we would like to know, oh, we didn't answer, sorry. We can conclude that Jason had such a wonderful time and plans to go back to the Philippines. And we can say that because now Jason, as the last line of the paragraph says, he's working at a university to save money and probably move to Manila in the future. Don't you think that's awesome? Now we would like to know your conclusions. What do you think? How do you feel about these 5 kind of questions that you are going to find in the ICFES exam? And I'm going to go to the chat to see your answers. What are your conclusions? Thank you, Sebastián from Barranca Bermeja. Thank you, Natalia Estupiñán, Jorge Castaño. We would like to know your conclusions. How do you feel about these 5 kind of questions? And yeah, and what are your feelings? Do you think they are easy or difficult? No answers? Why don't you share your feelings? Tell us, let us know about you, please. Thank you, Carol. Easy, very good, very good. That's the idea. If you think it is easy, it is going to be easy. Who else says another thing? Okay, so today I would like to do a little bit of advertisement. If you are a Bethlemite student in Pamplona, or in Armenia, or in Barranca Bermeja, Palmira, or Medellin, we are going to do a camp all in English. It is going to be an immersion program that lasts a whole week. It costs 500,000 pesos per person, and we hope to have you there. So if you are probably in 8th grade or in 10th grade, we would like to have you there. So in Pamplona, you can contact Magali so that you can coordinate with her if you want to go to the camp. In Armenia, you can contact our dear teacher, Joan Leandro. And if you're in Barranca Bermeja, you can contact the coordinator, Margarita. In Palmira, you can contact Marlene, coordinator Marlene. And in Medellin, you can contact coordinator Leah. So it is going to be from April 3rd to April 7th. Hope to see you there. And we will be live streaming here on YouTube whenever we have the chance. If you would like to have a specific session about probably, I don't know, singing, vocal techniques, current issues, Justin Bieber, I don't know, anything, just let us know in the comments. Follow our social networks. Follow us on Facebook to know the date and the day of our next session, and also follow us on Instagram so that you can stay tuned about not only our live streaming sessions, but also about our camps and also our activities that we are doing as a project. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. I'm going to thank you all for having watched us. Thank you so much, Juliana, for saying that it is easy. Thank you so much, Diego, for participating. And let me just go back to myself. Thank you. Thank you so much. This is my cross. Today is Ashes Wednesday, and it is a very important day for all of the Bethlemite schools. Thank you so much for your time, your participation, and please, if you have suggestions, if you have comments, please let us know on the videos, on our social networks, so that we can plan interesting sessions for you, so that we hear your voice, so that we take into account your ideas, and also so that we can keep on doing more streaming sessions, not only for students in Colombia, but next time it is going to be for Bethlemite students in Ecuador, Panama, Costa Rica, Colombia, Guatemala, El Salvador, and that's it so far. So thank you so much for your participation, and bye-bye. Have a lovely week and a lovely weekend. Don't forget about that. Bye-bye.